Popular gaming platform Roblox says it'll launch an age verification system in 3 countries, including Australia. The age checks in Australia, New Zealand and the Netherlands are set to start from the first week of December, before being rolled out worldwide in early January. The new system means users who want to privately message other players will need to verify their age. Roblox does not allow kids under 13 to chat with other users outside of games unless they have explicit parental permission. The federal government's social media ban for under-16s will commence on December 10th, and so far Roblox has not been added to the list of banned sites. Well, here to comment on this development is Lisa Given, Professor of Information Sciences at RMIT. Welcome, Lisa. Now, Roblox, as we say, it's not part of this upcoming ban, but what are they proposing here?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think what they're proposing is part of a suite of activities to really tighten controls on the platform. Certainly, there are many, many children, very young children even on this platform. And so at the minute, they're going to be effectively, if anyone wants to access the chat feature, they're going to be required to have their age checked to estimate their age. And then they will be grouped into subgroups of users so that people who are, let's say, in the 12-year-old age group would be likely to be chatting only with people in a similar age group, and that would keep potentially older adults away from younger children on the platform.
Okay, so I'll ask you a bit more about how that works in just a moment, but before we get to that, why do you think they're making this move?
I think certainly Roblox has come under a lot of fire globally around concerns over grooming and worries that there are predators on the site. We've certainly seen some lawsuits in the United States pop up in the last 6 months, for example. And so I think that they're really trying to be proactive in this in order to put parents' minds somewhat at ease, but also potentially here in Australia to keep it away from being classed as a social media age-restricted platform. This is certainly something used by many, many children. Many parents are on there. They want their kids to be playing with this type of a game, very creative kind of system, and they want to do that in a way that's extremely safe.
Yeah, I mean, there wouldn't be many parents who haven't heard of Roblox and have kids playing it, but tell us just how popular is it and what age groups are mostly attracted to this platform?
Sure. It's got 380 million users worldwide. So it's an absolutely very common, very highly used game, even very, very young children. So in the age groupings that they're going to be identifying, for example, they acknowledge there are people under the age of 9. Those kids would be grouped into a particular group, and then other subgroups going all the way up to 18, and then people who are over the age of 18. But it does allow parents to actually include a list of trusted connections for their kids. So family members, for example, older siblings might still be able to then connect with those younger kids as part of that trusted connection program.
And so with what they're proposing here with this grouping, I mean, there's got to be a large error rate with facial scanning. I mean, what are the concerns here?
Yeah, this is one of the major concerns. Certainly, the technology worldwide, we know, has an error rate of between about 1 to 3 years. And when you're trying to make these really fine line definitions between who's 9 years old, who's 11 years old, we're going to see quite a number of kids that likely get incorrectly estimated to be in the wrong group. That could also mean then that people over the age of 18 could be classified as being 16 and end up in a child-oriented grouping. There are ways that parents can change the age within the system, but at the end of the day, if no one's checking, we could end up with children also in some of those over 18 groups.
And we know that there are predators online. Will they be able to get around this?
I think that's really the million-dollar question. On surface, they're going to have to also go through these age checks, or, they could even put their ID into the system. They're more likely to go with facial scanning technology, see what that brings. If you do have predators who appear to be quite young, they could end up in some of these younger groupings, certainly. And I think it's a question of how determined will they be to try to fool the system into believing that they should be in that system and that they're actually able to speak with younger children.
And finally, as we said earlier, Roblox is not part of this upcoming social media ban. Why not, and should it be?
It's very interesting. In the early days, we certainly saw that the e-safety commissioner had, put the company on notice, had sent them one of the letters saying, "Look, you may well be an age-restricted platform." They've been in deep conversations over several months, and my understanding is that the e-safety commissioner believes that the measures they've taken mean that these safety measures do align with Australian legislation. We've already been told when the legislation was first mooted that gaming platforms would be excluded. So I think what we're seeing here is that this system is classified as predominantly a gaming platform. Therefore, it has an exemption from legislation, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be foolproof or safe for every kid. So parents still really need to be on notice and really engaged with what their kids are doing on the platform.